followed a lot by the English film channels these days. So, you know, if you look at television and you look at the English channels, a lot of English channels will have English subtitles running along. It just helps you focus more and be able to follow better.
And you're, sir, I would like to ask you, you're not targeting the non-English speaking audience like the Hindi belt who would probably want subtitling in Hindi so they can figure out what he's saying, the interpretation.
So I think the minute you start translating it, then the meaning just becomes very different, and the way it's read and the way it's understood is very different. The purity of the storytelling is in the passion and the way in which Bhatt Sahab is narrating it. And I think we should maintain that purity rather than focus right now on translation. Let's see how it goes, and then we'll see how to move ahead.
Vikram sir, over here. Priyanka, the trend of web series is really coming up. So are you also planning to make one web series, as it's a very short distance?
I am making one already,
okay,
which is called Maya, but that's not the platform we are on today.
Hello.
यार बोल ही मत इसके बारे में, प्लीज हाथ जोड़ रहा हूं मैं, आइडिया भी मत दे एकदम. We did not, भाई इसको काट देना.
Hi, Vikram sir, Iqbal here. Yes, sir. Sir, you have wonderfully narrated the story and all. So there are only few shows, you know, in media and all. So on web series as well. So did you, before working with this episode, did you went through all so that you can work far better than something like that? Do you have any plan to see some other shows so that you can also work in this Once Upon a Time with Vikram Bhatt?
समझा नहीं मैं.
Sir, I am just asking. So did you see any episode before working with this kind of shows?
Any episodes like this?
Yes, sir.
I don't think there is anything like this. I'm quite unique, but if there is, then I wouldn't mind seeing competition.
But
Hello.
Did you see any episodes like that, or did you any reality shows or any narrating shows so that you can work better than this show?
नहीं, ऐसा कोई मिला नहीं मुझे शो. लेकिन अगर आपके पास हो तो प्लीज मुझे भेज दीजिए ताकि मैं उसकी भी बैंड बजा दूं.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, this is for Vikram sir. Yeah, towards your right. आपके right की ओर. मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि आपने हमेशा कैमरा के पीछे काम किया है, तो ये आप तब कैमरा के सामने आप काम कर रहे हो, तो कैसा लग रहा है आपको कैमरा के सामने काम करना?
देखिए, ये काम तो मैं जिंदगी भर कर रहा था. कभी एक्टरों को सुनाता ऐसे, तो कभी जिसके पास पैसे है उसको सुनाता हूँ. अभी सुना पैसे लोगों के पास है तो अभी वहां चला गया हूँ. लेकिन काम तो वही कर रहा हूँ मैं, सिर्फ कैमरा लगा दिया मेरे सामने. लेकिन कहानी तो इतनी शिद्दत से ही आज तक कह रहा हूँ.
Thank you.
Yeah, Vikram, this Vikram. Vikram, this particular episode, I think it's 20 minutes something. 20 minutes?
No. I think it's just 10 minutes.
So it looks like 20 minutes.
That's
you
because
you get so engrossed in the story as such.
I wish you said it looks like 2 minutes.
No, 20 minutes. The best part is that there is a definite message in this particular episode.
Yeah, and this one there is, yeah.
Now, since this media, the platform which you have gotten is Live, Sony Live, I think you can send across messages through most of your episodes, because there is a need as of today, because here also there is a very different message where people are not aware of the culture and this, that, and they are getting into some worse kind of this, So in your consecutive episodes, you can take a call on this,
See, I don't think anybody wants to be told what to do.
No, not like that. Indirectly, when you
I know what you're trying to say.
The message reaches across.
I think the stories have a different kind of. Sometimes you tell a story where you nod and you say, "हाँ यार, ऐसा होता है." Sometimes the stories have a what if feeling. Okay, yaar, what if something like this were there? Like when you watch a film like Narnia, you go into a world and you say, "What if?" So I think stories answer a lot of needs. Sometimes there's a need for a message. Sometimes there's a need to create a world where you wish you were. And fortunately, all these stories that we have, which will be aired, have something or the other at the end of it that you take away. So that your question is very important from that point of view, that at the end of 10 minutes, do you take away something?
Correct.
Yes, you take away.
Yes.
either take away a message or you either take away a what-if feeling, and after stop watching the story, you wonder what would have happened if the story were true.
Can you also talk about spaces that you have shot in? As in, is it only interiors or exteriors?
So, no, this is a study of mine, and I tell all my stories from there. The point is to be and take you everywhere with the story. Because the minute I start taking myself and narrating in different places, it defeats the purpose. Because some stories are even in outer space. You get the meaning, right? So, the idea is to take you along with the story. Like, I think we went into Gangadhar's house with this story. Or you went into Sunaina's house with the refrigerator story. In your mind, you have to go to those places. That's storytelling.
And can you also talk about the target audience for this whole program?
That, I think.
So I think the target audience for a lot of this would be English-speaking urban audiences. At least we believe the medium, the mobile handheld users are a lot in the urban areas, and because these stories are told in English, I think a lot of urban audiences will like to hear some of these stories. As we progress, we'll see what to do, but I think we want to start off like this, keep it urban. Also essentially because a lot of mobile audiences and 3G and 4G audiences are in urban cities right now.
Reading. Reading is extremely important because it's an input-output thing, right? I think I read more than I write. I love to read, but see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That what does Once Upon a Time do? What does this story do? There are a lot of people out there who love stories but don't like to read. So this is a show that brings that story to you, and you don't have to sit with a book. You can just watch and imagine, and someone is telling you a story. And this is actually reading for somebody, but you don't have to go through the process, and that's what internet and the digital world has done for us. It has brought stories to us in different ways, and you don't have to sit with a book and read. There are different ways now. मैं चाह रहा हूं कि कोई नोटिस करे मुझे और कोई सा भी छोटा मोटा सा ही रोल दे दे, और मैं सीरियस हूं. कोई भी देखे मुझे और बोले यार इसको हमने काम नहीं दिया आज तक. मैं कह रहा हूं आपसे, मैं वादा करता हूं आपको, अगर आप किसी को जानते तो आप करवा दीजिए. हाँ बिल्कुल, मैं तगड़ा तैयार हूं.
So you've always given chance to newcomers. In terms of performance, you are performing alone, but behind the camera, are you giving chance to new technicians?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. There's a whole team of new people out there who have done this. There is Anupam Saroj, who has directed. It's his first directorial debut. He has. He's the son of Santosh Saroj, who is a celebrated writer, who wrote Agnipat's dialogues also in screenplay. I was an assistant when I used to work with him. Now he was my assistant and now he's a director. There is Krishna, who's my daughter, who creatively handles the show. There is Isha, the writer, and of course Manu and Sugandha, who is there to eat my head 24/7. She's the business head, and Dharam. So all of them together are a whole new team, and it's their first venture.
So we can take on more questions one-on-one. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your questions, and we are open to one-on-one. 5 stories gone live as we speak, so that's truly something which we all have to look forward to.